everybody, just on that front, different groups. And you sit there and you start talking to them, and you say, you're really trying to set me up for no reason when you know full well I'm a good person, and full well that we have moderators that took that down, and full well that you're only here with a subpoena to find out who this person is, and I'll comply with that subpoena because I don't agree with people doing stuff like that. What is your problem? And they started asking Tim Frugier questions. I said, Tim, don't answer their questions. I think it's time for you guys to go. I hope someday you become real Americans. I don't know how you sleep at night. And when one guy was laughing, and I said, you don't know how corrupt the system is then? And he goes, no, I don't know. I don't know. That was another case. And he's being sarcastic, like it's funny, like you're on a winning team with the corruption, messing with the First Amendment and messing with people that are trying to stop a civil war in this country and trying to keep civilization afloat. It isn't a game, folks, when the border's wide open. But they're pointing guns at Boy Scouts that were taking photos of a bridge for a book report. So it just says in the local news report, federal agents, federal border agents, probably customs, ran over and put guns to their heads. Because they're trained like attack dogs. Citizens you go after, illegals you red carpet. Veterans get put on death list, illegals get free health care. That's KCCI News. We wrote a story about it. Kit Daniels did at Infowars.com. Just broke. Now I'm going to stop ranting. Lynn Ulbricht, the mother of Ross Ulbricht, freeross.org, everyone should try to politically support this young man because the site's still up and running and operating. They just want to set the precedent to go after everybody else. They've been trying this for a while. And the problem is, it's like Aaron Swartz. Man, I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm sure you've thought of this. When Swartz said he was going to battle him, was going to defeat him, and got engaged to be married, I believe they went and killed him and hung him. And then his father said he killed him with the pressure. No, I believe they killed Aaron Swartz because he was fighting similar things for publishing free open research at MIT that was 30 years old as an example of being able to share files the public has paid for. So I think your son, because he's been chosen out of all this, and they've tried to set up these file-sharing sites and others for music, and they've lost recently, I think your son, Ross, is in danger because he's in the hands of the real kingpins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very sobering. I wanted to let you know, and the lawyer just told me, there's going to be another round of motions coming up at the end of July that's going to address cutting-edge Fourth Amendment issues in the case and build on the recent Supreme Court opinion on privacy in the digital age. You know, a lot of people are asking, how did the government find the Silk Road server? There's been lots of things floated about parallel construction in the case. And so far, the government has not answered that question. So I think there's a lot more that's going to be addressed and coming out that'll be very interesting. And meanwhile, we need your help because we have to fight this battle, and we're fighting a Goliath. They have unlimited resources. They have unlimited manpower, and we're a small group of people with very limited resources. And whatever help you can give, if you can go to our website and donate. We also need anyone to stand beside us with ideas, skills, anything you can offer to help us fight this. I feel like it's a battle worth fighting. It's going to impact all of us.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, it came out in Reuters last year in August, just about a year ago, on August 5th, what I've been telling people that I was told by a mid-level DEA agent at the gym. One time he was putting his shirt on with his badge around his neck, and he goes, I've been lifting weights with the guy for like a year, and he goes, Alex, don't tell anybody I'm DEA. Oh, my God. And he goes, and then I never told anybody it was DEA, like big deal. And then later he was pretty honest about it. He said, look, this is like 10 years ago. He goes, look, it's all listened to. We have access to everything. What you say is true. And we've got control of the switches at the telecoms. Well, that's exactly what Reuters then said, that they're in everything. Everything. Your webcams, everything you say on the phone, they're in the NSA. So they go lie in federal affidavits to judges, and the judges know, to certify it, to then go use illegal evidence in court. See, it's systematic criminal operations. And the argument is, well, we're stopping drug dealing. No, they're not. They're only shutting down small cowboys. And again, I have had family in the CIA, well, the Army, who did stuff for the CIA, who said that they finally quit back in the 80s when they were sent to engage in drug dealing and assassinations in Chicago. And I mean, that's just an example of how corrupt the system is. The public is so naive. All you can do is decriminalize. And it's not the drug culture's good either. It's terrible. It's that the government, just like the mafia and the government ran prohibition with alcohol, and it tripled the size of the gangs and corrupted the government. When they ended alcohol prohibition, they brought out drug prohibition to be their new business. And it's been growing ever since. We have to discredit the whole system. Any comments to that?
Well, yeah, I think that there's so many people in prison who are either innocent or nonviolent. And it just seems like it's draconian how the repercussions for these things. And our prisons are just overflowing. And yes, I agree that we need to get back to the rule of law and have fair trials. And it's true, I've heard over and over that the prosecution will throw everything at a person to try to get them to plea to things they didn't necessarily do. And that just seems wrong. You have a right to a fair trial. And that's what we're trying to get for Ross.
Again, Lynn Ulbricht, the mother of Ross Ulbricht, freeross.org, the Silk Road creator. How are his spirits after 9 months in the federal dungeon?
Well, Ross is a very positive person by nature. He's an Austin boy, by the way, raised there, and but very positive and resilient, and sees the bigger picture in this. And he stays positive. He taught a physics class in there to inmates and a yoga class, and he now is, of course, concentrating on discovery since he's finally been given the material. So he keeps his spirit up, but it's a challenge. It's not easy. It's been very difficult, and I'm proud of him for how he's handling it, but yeah, it's hard.
He's taking it as a challenge in a boot camp, and we'll all pray for him, and I'm sure he'll get through this, and there'll be another political prisoner when the history books are written, when we defeat the globalists and bring them to justice. But we have grown a giant, vicious, unaccountable, evil, wicked, oppressive, sickening kingpin government that now wants to shut down our free speech. And they're trying to overthrow every country that they don't control right now. They've opened our borders. They're just illegitimate. And the good news is most feds I talk to are not even bad men or women, but they have special cadres under the Justice Department that are the political operatives, and they're the folks going after your son. And it's disgusting. All right, well, we'll get updates from you as this unfolds, and I hope people will try to aid his defense at freeross.org. I know the Electronic Frontier Foundation and others are trying to help, and I know that a lot of other folks are out there. We're all going to hang together or hang separate. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Thank you very much. What a sweet lady. Wow. And her son's very smart, built a very successful, powerful website. And I have personally experienced this myself, where they have gone around to almost every Liberty reporter out there, sending them with different reporters' names, even spoofing their email addresses, child porn, trying to get people to open it. We just don't open any attachments here unless we've talked to somebody over the telephone about it and have confirmed they've sent it. But the default position is when that happens, we call the feds, file reports, and make them do work for sending it. So if that ever happens to you, you just expose the fact that they're doing that. And I want to say something to everybody that's working with the system. This thing will come down one way or another. And you've signed on to stuff that makes the Nazis look like amateurs. I mean, you're signed on to some really bad evil. Sky's the limit. You name it, it's going on. And by your tacit go along, get along, all of you, including the general public, not just the feds, you are now aiding and abetting this. I am not aiding and abetting it. I want to get as far away from this evil as I can. That's why I'm boldly fighting it. Boldly. 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 Because I'm in a death battle here. I know they could set me up any moment, kill me, you name it. I'm ready. I don't like it. I don't even get off on the thrill of it. Long time ago I did. I'm committed to being a good person. I'm committed to being honorable. I'm committed to fulfilling my family name. And I'm committed to bringing down tyranny. I'm on the humanities team. And it's because that's what I'm made of. And I'm looking for a few good men out there and women who are looking for the same thing. And it's time to say no. It's time to turn the corner. Stuff's going to get a lot worse a lot quicker. The system made us deny this was going on for a long time while they grew their premeditated takeover. Well, we've caught them flat-footed. And the globalists know that, and they're freaked out. In all their communiques, they say that. They're losing the info war.